Okay, hey everyone. It's Saturday and I've got some free time, and so I'm going to spend a little time making some book-bound cross-stitch patterns for the Fruhling Designs shop on Amazon. One moment here. Oh, I need to change the Amazon store. Change the title of the stream. I'm realizing I made the wrong title. Update. There we go. Okay, so we're streaming. And last one I made was Weeping Willow Tree of Life #1. So I need to look through the Fruhling Design shop here and find the next one in the list. Celtic Knot Stained Glass Window 2. Let's see about that one here. Okay, Celtic Knot Stained Glass Window 1 and 4. I think that's the next one in line here. Celtic Knot Stained Glass Window 2. So yeah, that's what we're going to do next. So let's go to cross stitch patterns. Celtic Knot, we're looking for Celtic Knot Stained Glass Window 2. That's the one. Alright, so we're going to make a copy of the colored pattern. Print edition. Let the Microsoft OneDrive save it. So before we start editing this, so it doesn't get all confused. It's exciting to see that the print edition cross-stitch patterns are selling better on Amazon than they had been. You know, it doesn't sound like a lot, but I sold 8 last month, and that's compared to like 1 a month previously. So I'm making more, selling more. Business is starting to take off a bit. So if you haven't checked out the Fruhling Designs patterns on Amazon or in our Etsy store, visit the Fruhling Designs Etsy store and visit our shop on Amazon as well. And go nuts. Take a look at all the creative cross-stitch patterns we've got. Links are in the description and Twitch, and I'll put them in the YouTube video as well once I upload this to YouTube. Okay, let's turn this into a book version cross-stitch pattern. So first thing we're going to do is organize the pages. We need to insert the black and white version of this. So Celtic Knot Stained Glass Window 2. And we're going to choose the uncolored version, and we're going to insert it after the last page. Boom. Now we need to add the intro material, so insert from File, go to the desktop.
I thought I just needed some socks.
Oh, feet are cold?
Yes, they're freezing. I love you.
I love you. Just making cross-stitch patterns.
I love it.
Okay, we're going to add the intro material before the first page. Okay. We're going to save our work, but there's more to do because Amazon didn't like the pagination that was in here automatically. So we now need to go through and add a new footer, delete all the footer material. It's a little tedious. This is the most tedious part of the whole thing. And add new pagination. These Celtic Knot patterns sell pretty well. Oh, see someone tuning in. Hello, whoever you are. Just making a new book-bound cross-stitch pattern for my cross-stitch shop Fruhling designs on Amazon, and I'm doing the most boring part of the whole thing right now, which is updating the pagination that's in there from the digital files to the print version, so I'll have to add new footers for the print edition here. Very tedious, but essential part of the process. So I'm just in Adobe Pro right now, editing my PDFs. A copy of the file, of course, I'm not messing with the originals. How are you doing today, whoever you are? Thank you for tuning in. No promise as to the rivetingness of this stream. Just had some things to do, so I thought I'd get on Twitch and live stream it. On my days off from my normal work, I have to spend some time doing my side business if I want it to grow. I'd rather be playing World of Warcraft, but this is at least productive and creative and weird and interesting, so. Got both the black and white and the colored version of the pattern in the book. And as soon as I finish this up, it's going on Amazon. This is Celtic Knot Stained Glass Window 2, just part of a series of Celtic Knot Stained Glass Window patterns I've got. Hope your Saturday's going well, whoever you are. Actually, I haven't been feeling that great for a few days. My ribs are out of whack, and so I've been a little uncomfortable, so I'm kind of taking it easy today. I thought about going out and doing some more Uber driving, putting some extra money in, but I just didn't feel like it today. But I was pretty productive this week, so I'm always productive, even when I'm having downtime. And look at me, I'm making cross-stitch patterns for my Amazon shop. Productive to a fault, probably. If you're curious to see our Etsy shop and Amazon shop, I've got links in the description on Twitch. So just check out our Twitch profile, and you should be able to see a link there if you want to poke around and see what I've built so far. I'm proud of it. I've put a lot of time into it, and it's starting to pay off a little bit. It's not really passive income since you have to spend time making things, but it's passive. Like, you know, once I make these patterns, I can sell them in perpetuity. Oops. So it's time well spent. Why is it getting stuck there? There it is. Okay, that's right. To be a little careful not to accidentally delete the floss number. There we go. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is save our work there. Now let's add a footer. So we want copyright 2023. It's already 2 years ago, I can't believe it. Fruhling Designs. And on the right side, we want the page number. And Arial's fine. It's not the most interesting font, but I had trouble with Amazon accepting better fonts. So we'll just use Arial. It's fine. Hit OK. Make sure that adds it. Looks good. We're on page 40 there. We're going to save that. The reason this number is different than the number that was on there is that it's also adding page numbers to the intro material. So looking good so far. Let's close that. We're going to let it save on Microsoft OneDrive, and while we're doing that, let's go to Kindle. We'll get a new cross-stitch book started, a new paperback book started. Create paperback. Okay, so this is Celtic Knot Stained Glass Window 2 cross-stitch pattern. Kind of wordy title, but that's okay. Fruhling, Celtic Knot Stained Glass Window 2 book-bound cross-stitch patterns, or pattern, from Fruhling Designs, print edition. I need to see how many stitches that is. I forget how many stitches that one is. 250 by 250. Complete with list of needed cross-stitch floss/thread. Format. Add a list. 8.5 inches by 11 inches for ease of stitching. That's tedious for me to read this out loud while I'm doing this, but that has something to say, right? So, okay, what's next here? Glossy, soft cover bound. In fact, the books are beautiful. I've got one right here. You're going to see here's kind of what a finished product looks like. You know, this is from one of the first ones I did, but it's, you know, it's got a whole cross stitch colored in the uncolored version inside. They're beautiful, nice glossy covers. Amazon does a good job with printing through their KDP Kindle Direct Publishing utility. So it contains both the colored version and the uncolored version of the Celtic Knot Stained Glass Window 2 cross-stitch pattern. Fruhling Designs. This pattern is perfect for anyone who loves full coverage cross-stitching. This is partly for keyword purposes. Not really necessary, but I want to get a few keywords in there. And Celtic knots and or Celtic. Actually, do and Celtic or Irish culture. Boom. Let's bold this format here. Boom. Looks pretty good. A few questions. Okay, choose categories. We're going to do crafts, needle crafts, and cross stitch. That's the only category I'm going to use. So Celtic knot stained glass window cross stitch pattern. Let's see, Celtic cross stitch patterns, Irish cross stitch patterns, Celtic knot cross stitch patterns, and we're going to do a couple generic ones, Fruhling Designs, and we're going to do cross stitch patterns. Now we're going to do stained glass window cross stitch. Okay. I wish I could do more. It only gives you 7 keywords, and I'm not being very scientific about those. At some point I'll circle back and try to optimize it once I learn what's working and what's not working. But for now, we just need something in there that's in the right ballpark. Save. It's amazing how easy it is to make a book. I mean, this would have taken weeks 30 years ago. My favorite part, we get an ISBN. So official, lots of fun. Premium color interior. 8.5 by 11 inches. Glossy cover. Now we're going to upload the manuscript. So let's see. Celtic Knot Stained Glass Window 2. Print edition. Just take a second to upload. Make sure it uploaded okay. Then we get to make the cover, which is kind of fun. It's because it's visual. It takes a second for it to show that it's been uploaded. There we go. Now, cover creator. I love this little cover creator utility. It's a little clunky. You can tell it was made a few years ago, but it works okay. Upload an image. Gives you a few options. I've got one that I kind of stumbled into liking the best, so I'm using it again and again. So maybe it's not optimized because it's not exactly square for the image, but this design, and yep, dismiss the tutorial. It's got a couple different layouts. The one I found I liked the best was this one here. We're going to change the colors in a minute. The colors are, of course, garish right now. Okay. So first we're going to change this to Fruhling Designs. Boom. I'll make sure I didn't get more than one space in there. No, it's okay. Same thing on the spine. Although the book is too thin to have a spine, but it forces you to enter the information. Celtic Knot Stained Glass Window 2. Cross-stitch pattern from Fruhling Designs. Print edition. 250 by 250 stitches. Complete with list of needed cross-stitch, floss, thread. One of the more common questions I get is which kind of flosses, is it DMC or another brand? It's DMC floss, but I don't want to use their name unless I have to. Do I need to add, add images again? One goes there. And this particular template calls for another image right here that doesn't actually end up being visible, but we're going to upload it anyway. Okay, let's change the colors. And the colors I stumbled on that I like, I don't know if I like them the best. They just look pretty good with most of the patterns. This one right here, I find that that looks pretty plausible. Let's just proofread it. Tie it on the front of the cover. Celtic Knot Stained Glass Window 2 cross-stitch pattern, Fruhling Designs. Spine looks good. And on the left, Celtic Knot Stained Glass Window 2 cross-stitch pattern from Fruhling Designs, print edition, 250 by 250 stitches, complete with a list of needed cross-stitch floss thread. No typos. Good. So preview that. And we're going to save and submit it. Once in a while, Amazon bumps these back to me, and I have to make some minor changes. But the vast majority of them seem to be getting approved just fine. And you know, if I end up having to do something different, I'll go back and edit them all. But for now, I'm just blazing forward. Let's see, answer a couple more questions. Extensive editing, mid-journey, and none. Okay, and now we're going to launch the previewer. Boom. This part will take a minute. It's literally going to tell me, like, maybe time to go get a cup of coffee, so now's the perfect time to chit-chat if you have any questions or comments. Just hanging out in my PJs today. Trying to let my ribs heal up. But Amazon lets me publish 3 books a day, so I'm trying on my days off to at least get 3 of them out. And anything else for the cross stitch business, like making new Etsy patterns, digital download patterns, answering any questions, that kind of thing. So already sold 3 of them today, so that's good. It's not making me rich, but it's definitely helping these difficult times between full-time jobs. This is kind of like questing in World of Warcraft. Just keep leveling up, completing the quests, keep completing the quests, keep leveling up. You're gonna get there. And so I'm trying to just bang this out and keep making more, keep it growing, getting some cross-stitch business experience points, so to speak. Yeah, we added a new ability to our skill tree when we started doing print versions in addition to the digital download versions. So this is going to take a few minutes. There's no fast way to do this. They basically build a print-ready file from everything we uploaded. It does a bunch of checks behind the scenes, apparently. Most of this is kind of like prefab text that, you know, it's doing all these things, but maybe not necessarily while this text right here is on the screen, checking the image quality. The image quality is low, which is fine because the cross-stitch patterns are pixelated anyway, so the low image quality actually doesn't seem to really make a difference. Like I uploaded a fairly low resolution image, which ended up being a huge cover. So you get this, oh, camera's over here now. And the quality looks pretty good, but partly because the image was already pixelated because it's a cross-stitch pattern, so actually that worked out great. It's amazing we can get away with not worrying about it. We just push forward. And maybe it's not the best I could come up with, but at least we're in business and selling cross-stitch patterns and making a little cash, and the business is growing and having a fun time doing it. I know more about cross-stitching than I ever thought I would know. I also want to expand a bit into doing, like, say, diamond art patterns. I think DMC also makes the little diamonds for diamond art, and I think they have the same numbers, so it'd be easy to convert these to diamond art patterns. So that's forthcoming at some point as well, but I think right now I just need to blaze forward with cross-stitch, do as much as I can with that, and then eventually branch out into something else. But for now, I just want to stay focused. If you do too many things, you're not doing any of them well. So I just want to do cross-stitch real well for a while, get that growing, get a nice loyal customer base. Which I already have. I've got a couple hundred customers in the Fruhling Designs Cross-Stitchers Facebook group. And, you know, I just sold my 2500th cross-stitch pattern on Etsy a little while ago. So, you know, not getting rich doing it, but it's certainly making some money. And I've only done a couple of co-working streams, and I'm not sure how interesting this is. I don't want to be a distraction from my followers who follow me because of World of Warcraft, but I do spend a lot of time doing this, and I might as well live stream this too. So be a variety streamer as opposed to a narrowly gaming and even more narrowly World of Warcraft streamer. I need to get some background music going though. One thing at a time. Okay, so we're still generating the print preview. And this is a series of 4. I've got 4 of the Celtic knot patterns, and in addition to making these 4 individually, once I've done all 4 of them, I'm going to put all 4 together into a book and charge a little more for the book that contains all 4. You know, I want to keep selling increasingly more expensive items. You know, the digital downloads were cheaper, the book bound are a little more expensive, and then if I do anthologies of patterns, I can charge even more for those. I want to be selling expensive things, not just cheap things. This can literally take between like 5 and 15 minutes, so get comfortable if you're tuning in. I wish I was feeling a little better. My ribs being out of whack are definitely taking their toll on my quality of life right now. A little trouble breathing because my chest is kind of weird positions, trying to get comfortable. And what do you do? Getting older. I'll be 47 this year. I can't believe it. Where does the time go? The years shall run like rabbits, as W.H. Auden once said. I would love nothing more than for this cross-stitch business to take off to the point where I could do it full-time and not have to do Uber driving, not have to get a full-time job again. A little ways away from doing that. It doesn't need to grow very much, though. Like, if it grows by, like, maybe 4 times what it is right now, I'll be paying all my monthly bills and kind of breaking even, which is, that in itself would be an accomplishment. Of course, I want to grow it beyond that, but for now, I just want to be paying all my bills and breaking even, so I don't have to spend quite so much time on the road Uber driving and not worry about my increasingly difficult job search as much as I have been. It's taking its existential toll on me, but I'm pushing forward. It's what I do, for better or for worse. It's kind of fun when this spits out the preview of what the finished book is going to look like, and then from that point on, we just look at it for errors. Make sure we didn't accidentally delete something. Make sure there's the new pagination we added doesn't cross over any other text, that kind of thing. But once these are made, it'll be easy to make a copy of them, turn them into diamond art patterns as well. So I think at a certain point, I'm going to create diamond art books and diamond art digital download patterns as well. That's really popular. It's easier than cross stitch in a lot of ways. So see why that's become popular. It's cross stitch like, but just massively easier. It doesn't take as much skill. It's amazing that these granny hobbies have had a resurgence during and after the pandemic. So if you're just tuning in, we're just generating a preview of a finished cross-stitch book that's going to go on Amazon. That's why I'm sitting here not typing on my keyboard. Just waiting for this to generate. Reminds me of computer programming. You spend a bunch of time writing code, and then you got to sit back and let it compile, and there's nothing you can do. So sit back and have a beverage and enjoy the downtime. Chit-chat. Water cooler conversations. How's everyone spending their Saturday today? Anyone who's watching? What's happening around the world? The world of Twitch, the world of whatever your world consists of. I've got a couple different sizes that I use for cross stitch patterns. When I first started doing I was doing 200 by 200, and then some of the patterns are detailed enough where I think they look better with 250 by 250, which is a lot. It takes buyers and stitchers a lot longer to make the patterns, but they look cooler. And I'm more and more gravitating towards those larger ones because I think I'm really kind of doing business based on the cool artwork. But there's something to be said for the lower quality, not quality, but lower resolution, more pixelated, smaller stitch count patterns. But the length of time that this takes to generate the preview seems to be a function of how many pages it is. So the bigger patterns have more pages. It's a little longer to process. We had lunch a little while ago, watched an episode of The Orville, which I have seen in its entirety, but Susan has not seen, so spent a little time watching The Orville, having some lunch, enjoying Saturday. So I wish I was feeling a little healthier right now, but my ribs aren't feeling better by, say, Monday. I think I'm going to take myself to the ER and see if they need to do any imaging to figure out what's wrong. I just hope it's not something internal, like an organ or anything, but it really does feel like ribs. My side hurts over here, hurts in front. I think it's a rib out of whack, which is kind of taking its toll on breathing right and whatnot. So, but if it's not better, better go get it checked out. And, I kind of have to drag myself to the ER, kicking and screaming, like a great many men, I guess. But partly just how I was raised. My mom was pretty stoked that way, and is pretty stoked that way. She kind of plows through things. I've learned to just push through things rather than go take care of business and get it checked out. So, what I need to do, just go get it checked out, and I just need to drag myself down there to do it. Make sure I'm not going to keel over from a heart attack or anything. But no, seriously, I think it's just ribs. While that's processing, let's take a look at the next pattern in the list here. I'm doing these in order of popularity, and some of them I don't have. Let's see. Some of them I don't have two files for, the colored and the uncolored, so I need to go circle back and remake those. So I'm kind of skipping those and just doing the ones that I have colored and uncolored versions for. So we'll figure out what that is next here in a minute. Oh, there we go. Okay. So one of the problems I encountered right off the bat when I started doing this is that it doesn't like the size of the pages. They're not exactly 8.5 by 11. So you can have them scale the page to fit in an 8.5 by 11 page, which works just fine. Quality looks fine. So again, we already checked the cover, so that's good. Just want to check page 1 is page 1. Looking good. All we need to do is make sure the text that we added doesn't overlap anything. So far it's looking just fine. Right there, that was a problem in the file we created, but it's fixed. Good. Yep, looking good. Looking good. I'm just going to check every page. I know it's a little tedious, but I'd rather what's the phrase we used when I was doing construction? Measure twice, cut once. So we just want to check it all, and then when it's published, we don't have to think about it ever again. Okay, 40 pages, looks good, approve. Okay. Looks good, save and continue. All we need to do is set the price and submit it, and then a couple days later it'll be published on Amazon. I'm going to try to do 2 more here, so stick around. Unless you find this incredibly dull, in which case I'll be back later with more interesting content when we do some World of Warcraft or some retro streaming. We tried to do a retro stream at my sister's house last night. She's got a knockoff NES, Nintendo Entertainment System, gaming system, and I bought a video capture device. And I could not, for the life of me, get the audio working correctly with the video capture device. I got the video working. I was able to record with audio, but I could not figure out how to stream with audio. I checked every setting I could think of inside Streamlabs, every setting I could think of in the computer's audio settings. Nothing worked, and I'm not ignorant about it. I just could not get it working. And other people have had similar problems, apparently. It's not just me, so I'm going to have to try a different capture device, probably. Or just bite the bullet and game using emulators as opposed to original hardware. I'm kind of a purist, though. I want to use the original hardware. Okay, so 1995 in the US, expanded distribution as things like bookstores, so bookstores can order it. That's really important. Can take up to 72 hours. We're done. Publish the paperback book. Let's make sure it saves. Yep. We're not going to do a Kindle version, although I might circle back and do Kindle versions at some point. Let's check out the bookshelf, and I just want to double check that I don't have any. Okay, let's see Celtic here. So we've got Celtic knot, stained glass window 1, 2, and 4, and then we have this random green Celtic knot. Okay, so I'll make sure I hadn't duplicated one. Looking good, looking good. All right, let's move on to the next. So let's see, rainbow piano keyboard. I'm almost certain that that only has one file. Yep, so I can't do that one yet. I am going to circle back. Blue parakeets 2 I already did, I'm pretty sure. Let's double check. Yep, did that one. Magical rainbow octopus, I'm sure I did. Rainbow waterfall bridge scene, I think I did. Yep, so let's see. California poppies, I do that one. It's a beautiful pattern. Yep, did that one. Number 2. Halloween Haunted House, Monarch Butterfly, did those. Oregon Coast Scene 4. Did I do Oregon Coast Scene 4? It's a lot of cross-stitchers in Oregon. Okay, I did not do that one. Oregon Coast Scene 4, coming up. Okay. Oregon Coast Scene 4, here we go. So we're going to take the colored version of the pattern, create a copy, rename the copy, print edition. Let that save. Then we need to add the uncolored version to it in the intro material and update the pagination. So again, not terribly interesting, but I like this kind of like repetitive production work, partly because I can stream while I'm doing it. I can think about other things while I'm doing it. I like, it's creative light, and I've done creative heavy, which is more mentally taxing. This is creative light, so I'm having a lot of fun doing this kind of thing. It's a little repetitive though. Okay, the Microsoft OneDrive should be done updating here in a minute. There we go. Let's prepare this file. Okay, organize pages. First thing we need to do is insert from a file. So Oregon Coast Scene 4. Make sure we choose the right file here. Oregon Coast Scene 4. Choose the uncolored version. That's going to go after the last page. Okay. Now we're going to come up here and insert from file again. We're going to go to the desktop, Fruhling Designs Resources, Thank You and Frequently Asked Questions. That's the intro material. It's going to go before the first page. Boom. Save our work. Let's do a little surgery on these. We just basically need to delete the footer material and add a new footer, because Amazon does not like, edit here, Amazon does not like the pagination that these files contain out of the gate. So discovered that the hard way. I think they've also been cracking down on it a little bit. Actually, I suspect what's happening is they're using some sort of, call it AI, but automated checker to check the pagination and things like that. It's not really AI, but everything's being called AI. Just because something is automated doesn't mean it's AI. So they're using some sort of automated system to check things like the pagination and the image quality and whatnot, margins. So they did not like this pagination. So we're just going to fix it. These patterns are complicated. I kind of don't envy the stitchers who work on this stuff. It's amazing to see it come together. I mean, this is complicated cross-stitching with a lot of single stitches and whatnot. And man, when a customer posts a picture of a finished project they've been spending months working on, it's really satisfying to know that it came from my brain to a digital thing, to a print thing, to a physical object in the world that creates such enjoyment for people. It's really, really satisfying. So this one's only 200 by 200. So fewer pages should process a little more quickly. This one, double check I didn't miss something in the previous one. No, we're okay. Make note of the copyright year 2023 because I need to add the copyright back in. I'll just be a little careful here. DMC 648, we don't want to accidentally delete that number. Perfect. There's no fast way to do this. It's just plug and chug grunt work. Intelligent monkey work. But that is perfect for a low-key Saturday with rib pain. But I think when we come back, we're going to do some, Susan and I are going to do some World of Warcraft streaming. We created new Goblin Death Knight characters, which are, the Goblins and Death Knights work surprisingly well together. They're funny little characters, and we're having fun with that. We're almost done with the Death Knight starting area. So we're going to come back and do that a little later, I believe. Right now, Susan is watching some of her reality TV shows that I am frankly not very interested in. And so I'm doing this because it has to be done anyway, and perfect. We actually have a pretty good balance of doing things that each of us likes to do on our own when we need to or want to. It's healthy. This is very much just, got to concentrate on it kind of work, so. Which I tend to gravitate towards hobbies that require a lot of just focus and some creativity. But I like focused hobbies. I like building electronics and doing ham radio and even studying my Latin and things like that. So this is certainly in my wheelhouse from how I like to spend my project time. And happily, this one's actually making a little money, so. Okay, here's our problematic page. Have to be a little careful on. Okay, 648. The DMC number's intact, perfect. Look at that. Last page. Then we just need to add a new footer. Let's save our work first. Add. Okay. Left footer text. Copyright 2023. Fruhling Designs. I guess I could technically bump this up to 2025, so that's the print edition, but it doesn't matter. Just doesn't. Can't worry about these things too much. Okay, insert page number. Change the size to 10. Apply. Again, it just doesn't like using the same font as up here. This font up here is PT Sans serif, of course, and this one is Arial, and they don't really match, but it's close enough. I think only I would care about that, and I just can't figure out how to get the right font embedded. Again, it's already there, so it's clearly detecting it, and Amazon is okay with that. But when I try to add the same font down here in the footer, Amazon doesn't like that for some reason. So this is Operation Get It on Amazon and optimize it later. Save to computer. Close, and we're just going to let that. Oh, already did it. Upload to OneDrive. Let's get the book started on Amazon. So create paperback. This is what Oregon Coast Scene 4. Let's get this pulled up on Etsy so I can reference it. Okay. Oregon Coast Scene 4 cross stitch pattern. Oregon Coast Scene 4 book bound cross stitch pattern from Fruhling Designs. 200 by 2. This one only has 200 stitches by 200 stitches. Complete with list of needed cross stitch floss / thread format. Again, this is really repetitive, but that's okay. Oops. 8.5 inches by 11 inches for ease of stitching. Glossy soft cover bound. Contains typos. That's what it contains. Contains both the colored version and the uncolored version of the Oregon Coast Scene 4 cross stitch pattern from Fruhling Designs. Shameless self-promoter. I've always been a little bit of a shameless self-promoter. This pattern is perfect for anyone who loves full coverage cross stitching. Oops, typo, cross stitching, and the Oregon Coast. Oops, man, holy typos today. Boom. Looks pretty good, okay. Couple questions. Categories. Let's see, we want crafts, needle crafts, and cross stitch. Save categories. Oregon Coast cross stitch pattern. When possible, I try to add cross stitch both hyphenated and unhyphenated. It's done a couple different ways, and Amazon seems to treat them a little differently, so I try to do both. Oregon Coast, Oregon cross stitch pattern. Try, if I have room, to get Fruhling Designs in there. Shameless self-promotion. And cross stitch patterns. Okay. Save and continue. Alright, we're off to the races. Here's the fun part. Very official. We get an ISBN. Boom. Premium color interior. 8.5 by 11. Glossy. Let's get the manuscript uploaded. Let's choose the right pattern here, of course. Oregon Coast Scene 4. I want to do something from all 50 states as well, so just nowhere near doing that yet, but Oregon Coast Scene 4 print edition. Okay, so you've got a couple of other people tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. How are you guys today? I often do World of Warcraft streaming, but today I've got some cross-stitch patterns to make for my cross-stitch business, and I thought I'd just do a co-working stream. I need to get some music going on the stream. Sorry there's no music, I just haven't figured that out yet. So you get me and boring cross-stitch creation. So if you find that interesting, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by if you don't find it interesting. Hopefully you'll find my other streams more interesting than this. But this had to be done, so I thought I would just do a co-working stream and stream it. Okay, so the file's uploaded. Let's get the cover creator going. This is kind of fun. I like this visual part. Okay, so let's upload a picture first of all. Oregon Coast Scene 4. It's pretty low resolution, but it looks okay even on the cover because its cross-stitch patterns are pixelated, so it actually doesn't look too bad. We're going to choose this design. Don't worry about the colors yet. We're going to change the colors here in a minute. And the version of this pattern I like is this one here, this cover. Okay, so let's change this to Fruhling Designs. center it. Fruhling designs on the spine. Although this book doesn't have enough pages to have a spine, so that will actually not be in the final product. Let's write the back cover text. Oregon Coast, Scene 4, cross-stitch pattern from Fruhling Designs. No typos. Print edition, 200 by 200 stitches, complete with list of needed cross-stitch floss / thread. Actually, I need to go back and check the description. I think I might have accidentally put 250 by 250 stitches, so which happens sometimes. So I'll check that before we submit it. Okay. Oh, colors. Let's change the colors. And I'm not 100% satisfied with the color scheme I went with. I think I could probably do better left to my own devices maybe, but I found that this color combination looks pretty good with most of the patterns. Easy on the eyes, professional looking. I like it. So it's not perfect, but adequate. Oregon Coast Scene 4 cross-stitch pattern, Fruhling Designs. I'm just proofreading now. Okay, Oregon Coast Scene 4 cross-stitch pattern from Fruhling Designs, print edition, 200 by 200 stitches, complete with a list of needed cross-stitch floss there. Perfect. No typos. And I'm going to check the description to make sure I got the right number of stitches in the description. I think I might have put 250 instead of 200 out of habit. Some of these landscape patterns, I find I like the way they look a little more pixelated. They look a little more detailed if I upped it to 250, but I'm a child of the 80s. I like the pixelated video game look, so which works well for cross-stitch patterns. Okay, so we're going to go back to details. Save and continue. And just double check the description. 200 by 200, it's okay. Perfect. Save and continue. Got the cover in there, yep. Answer a few more questions. Boom. Extensive editing. Boom. Launch the preview. Okay, this part takes a few minutes. Usually takes between 5 and 15 minutes, but it might be a little shorter this time because this is one of the smaller 200 by 200 patterns as opposed to 250 by 250. So while I'm waiting, thanks for tuning in, whoever's watching. How's everyone today? You guys are quiet, not very chatty. That's fine if you're just lurking. I'm just doing some projects for my cross-stitch business on a Saturday. Workaholic, I guess. I was saying earlier my ribs are a little out of whack, so kind of taking it easy the last few days and just trying to get healthy again. Yeah, there's no fast way through this process, so. Another kind of book I'm going to start creating. I've been, for the last 11 years, I've been working with the Vacaville Heritage Council in my hometown to digitize my grandfather's sermons, and that project is done, and now I need to go through those and figure out which of those are worthy of publication, so to speak, and interesting enough to either put together into an anthology or create little one-off books, maybe little chapbooks or something, of the individual sermons. And I'm just getting started looking through them and kind of figuring out which ones are publication worthy. A lot of them are, but a lot of them are just outlines. Some of them are well written out and more like essays and worthy of publication on their own. So I'm going to start publishing those as well, in addition to these cross-stitch books. And eventually my own writings as well. I've got a couple of my own books out, like my master's thesis and whatnot, but some of my own blog posts are worthy of publication as well, I think. And even if they're not worthy, I'm going to do it anyway, because that's how I am. And so I've got a lot more stuff to do on Amazon coming up. I think the Amazon books have even more potential than the digital cross-stitch patterns in the Etsy shop. And if you're just tuning in, do check out our Fruhling Designs Etsy shop for digital download cross-stitch patterns. The link is in the description on Twitch, and and there's a Twitch panel for it in the About Us description. And check out our Amazon shop as well. So see the link below, either in Twitch or in YouTube. Shameless plug. Go buy my cross stitch patterns. Help me out. Yeah, this does all kinds of things. Checks for blank pages, checks pagination, checks margins, checks your fonts, everything. So it takes a few minutes. Yeah. Olga says, this could take a few more minutes. Maybe time to get a cup of coffee. It'll say in a minute. And they'll say, or maybe a sandwich. Funny. Oh, did someone buy a cross-stitch pattern? Speaking of. Nope, someone favorited the shop, though. Got almost 1,000 people who favorited the shop, and about 2,000 customers overall, and 200 of those so far are in the Fruhling Designs Cross-Stitchers Facebook group I created. Just for customers. Customers only. Yep, see, time to go get a cup of coffee or make a sandwich. I already had a sandwich, though. I can't believe it's already 3:30. The day has just flown by. Weekends are not long enough. I was telling Susan I feel like getting out a little bit tomorrow, but something kind of low-key, because my ribs are still kind of not feeling great, so I don't want to push it too much. But there is a model railroad store, model train store in town, in Roseville, next town over. And I kind of want to go check that out, wander around, look at the model trains. But I joke that that's my favorite hobby. I'm never able to do because I never have enough room to do it. Time I could find, but it's hard to find the room to do model trains unless you do it very intentionally. So it's one of my favorite hobbies. It's very, very seldom get to play with it. But I do keep up on it, and once in a while I subscribe to the magazines and websites and blog posts and things. See what the latest trends are, and just kind of admire other people's work too. Another business I wouldn't mind getting into, something related to that, making decals or, who knows. I got ideas. There are ideas. In the meantime, I got Dinah the cat over here. She's just out of frame. Can't really see her. She's right over here, and she's looking at me lovingly because she's a loving cat. Come here, Dinah, be in the stream. You a Twitch cat? You're too comfy. She's comfy. I'll probably coax her over here in a minute. She likes being near me. So we're not doing too bad. We're just under, literally almost at an hour, 10 seconds from being at an hour here. And we're finishing up the second pattern. So that's pretty good. I'm getting this down to about 35 minutes per pattern, maybe 40 minutes per pattern. That's pretty good. That's, I've streamlined the process quite a bit. So seeing the fruits of my labor back when I worked at Appley and had a lot of content to crank out. And anything I could do to streamline the process helped a lot. And that's been true here for the cross-stitch business as well. I'm pretty good at that. I think for me, it's a matter of just making it as repetitive as possible, even if that takes a little bit of the creativity out of it. Okay, so we got a little problem here, and this happens every time. We need to scale the file to fit the fit the trim size. There we go. Okay, and we already checked the cover, so we're good. And we're just going to check. Mainly, I'm just checking to make sure there's no weird overlap with the new footer we added over any of the design or over any of the list of cross-stitch colors. The stream is helping me do my grading. My hero. Hey, I'm happy to help, Marina. Nice to see you. Happy to help. I thought it might be you watching. I love that you watch my streams. That makes me feel good. At least someone's watching my stuff. It's kind of meditative, probably, huh? I mean, you know, it's not... Would it be better with background music? I see there are a few options for getting music on Twitch, but I haven't explored any of them, and I don't really know what's best. Since I do upload these videos to YouTube, it has to be royalty-free stuff, and I don't want anything super cheesy either, so just need to try out some of the options. Okay. How many pages do we end up with here? 34, so a slightly smaller book, 'cause it's a smaller pattern. And it all looks good, so hit approve. I know, look at us being productive on a Saturday. Doing your grading, I'm doing my cross-stitch business. Okay, that looks good. All we have to do now is set the price and then move on to the next pattern. I can only do 3 a day, because that's what Amazon lets you do. So I'm going to do one more. Okay, $19.95. I feel like I'm underpricing these a little bit. In fact, I noticed that there's someone out there who is on eBay taking the books that I've created for sale on Amazon and relisting them on eBay at a higher price, which is fine. It's what retailers do. It's just kind of in 21st century version of the reselling business. And what I can't tell, because I don't get any information on that, who the customers are on Amazon, unlike Etsy where I do, I can't tell if the sales are just people buying them right from Amazon or are these people buying them on eBay from this dude who's you know, relisting my patterns at a profit. So it doesn't really matter as long as I'm selling them. I'm happy. So, but I'm selling them for $19.95, and I noticed that they're being listed on eBay for like $27, and I wonder if I've underpriced them. Everything's more expensive than they used to be, but they're selling at $19.95, so I'm running with that price. But I kind of just made that up. Okay, and we checked expanded distribution because that's what allows it to be listed for sale in bookstores. Bookstores can order them and whatnot, which is great because eventually, once I get enough of these print books made, I want to pound the pavement a little bit and try to get them stocked in various craft stores around the country. So I do have big plans, but I gotta have enough inventory first to make that worth the effort. Getting there. Okay, publish your paperback book. This is anticlimactic. It has to go through Amazon's review process, so it's not actually listed on Amazon yet. We're not doing ebooks right now because I have digital download files on Etsy. Okay, so we've got Celtic Knot Stained Glass Window 2. Did that a little while ago. Oregon Coast Scene 4. Let's see what the next pattern is. Enchanted Forest 9. I'm pretty sure I already did that. Let's check it out. Enchanted. Yeah, did that one already. How about Rainbow Lion 2? I don't remember if I did that one or not. No. But let's make sure it has both a print and a... Alright, colored and an uncolored version. Yeah, Rainbow Lion 2. That's coming up next. Just want to make sure I didn't miss it. Okay, no, good, perfect. Okay, so let's find that pattern. Rainbow Lion, number 2. I'm doing these in order of popularity in terms of how many sales there are of the digital versions of these, which is not very scientific, not very systematic. I would like to do, you know, if I have multiple patterns in the same series, I'd like to do all of those. Maybe I should prioritize making one series at a time, but I figure erring on the side of what's already selling is not a bad idea, even if it looks a little disjointed at the moment while I keep fleshing these out. So copy, paste. Let's rename this to print edition. How much grading do you have to do, Marina? So glad I don't have to do grading this time around. Grading's such a grind. I was slated to teach logic this semester, and college decided they didn't want out-of-state instructors, so which sucks because it was less money than I planned to have this term. But on the other hand, I have a lot more time, and I don't have to waste my time doing grading, so no problemo, as they say. Okay, so we need to organize pages. Is this Rainbow Lion 2, did we say? Okay, insert from file. Cross-stitch patterns. Rainbow Lion 2. Uncolored. We're going to insert that after the last page. Funny, this is the kind of thing I talk to myself mentally while I'm doing this on my own, so I'm just kind of saying out loud what I'm already thinking while I'm doing this. 6 more essays. Oh man, grading essays takes forever too. I don't miss that either. Maybe I'm just tired of teaching. I like the fun parts of teaching. I just hate the tedious parts of teaching. Maybe I just need to bite the bullet and make more educational videos on YouTube and do the fun parts and not worry about the less fun parts anymore. As I get older, I don't care as much. Okay, insert from file. We need to add the intro material, so let's find that. Fruhling Designs, thank you, and frequently asked questions. Put that before the first page. Save our work. Now let's do some surgery on these files. This is a really colorful pattern. This is one of these money patterns where it's like, this is so colorful that someone's going to buy this. 3-ish hours to grade 6 essays. That sounds about right. That's squares, so to speak. Well, we're going to do some wow later, I believe, once I'm done with this. Sounds like Susan might be done watching her show out there. And, wow, this is colorful. Look how colorful this is. It's beautiful. No wonder people are buying these and I'm making money. I'm such a child of the 80s where it's like rainbows and unicorns and whatnot. Rainbows and unicorns are still big business. Does that resonate at all with people your age, Marina? Like, for me, it's like, ooh, 1980s, rainbows, unicorns, happy. We're in Care Bear Rainbow Bright Land. Love it. I don't know if that resonates at all with younger folks. Like, I think it surprises Julie a little bit, actually. She's like, who knew that rainbow animals would be so popular? But it's totally true. You know, I'm giving away the secret sauce here, but that's okay. I'm the kind of guy that even if someone else were to decide they wanted to do this, I'm the kind of guy that's going to sit down and crank out, 100 times as many patterns as anyone else will. So, good luck trying to keep up with me. Yes, Lisa Frank, absolutely. Okay, so yeah, you get it. To some extent, I'm probably riding on the coattails, so to speak, but that's okay. There's no new idea under the sun. Yeah, Lisa Frank was popular when people my age were kids too. I think. Sounds right. Okay. This is just the really tedious part where I wasn't doing this originally. I was just going with the pagination that was in there, but at a certain point Amazon started flagging it. And so I now have to do this tedious nonsense of deleting the existing footer material and adding a new footer with the right pagination. Super annoying. So it increases by 10 minutes or so the amount of time it takes to make each one. But them's the breaks, as they say. In a perfect world, future customers would see these streams and go, ooh, that looks cool. Let's go check out the patterns on Etsy or on Amazon, and I get some new customers out of it too. In a perfect world. Right now it's just the kind of thing like it needs to be done. So I figure while I'm doing it, I'll do a Twitch stream and hopefully get a new Twitch follower, 2 or 3, and become a Twitch affiliate before too long. I've got all the criteria met except for the average number of streamers, average number of views per stream. All the other criteria are met, so I just need more viewers. Then I'm making a little money doing streaming, doing things I would ordinarily do anyway, so WoW and projects and retro games and whatnot. Okay, so let's save our work. We eliminated all the existing footer material. We're going to add a footer. Let's see, left footer text, copyright. You know the alt code for the copyright symbol now, alt0169, 2023, Fruhling Designs. And right footer text, insert page numbers, change the size to 10-point font. There it is. Only 32 pages, is that right? Why only 32 pages? I must have just used fewer colors in this pattern. "32 pages it is." Yep. Okay. Save our work. Boom. Okay, that is saved to Microsoft OneDrive. Actually, it saved really quickly, so I just want to check it again to make sure it looks good. Yeah, it looks good. Okay. Let's get the book started on Amazon. Let's see here. Create a paperback. What pattern is it again? Rainbow Lion 2. Rainbow Lion 2 cross-stitch pattern. Rainbow Lion 2 book-bound cross-stitch pattern from Fruhling Designs. How many stitches is that one? View on Etsy. 200 by 200. Complete with list of needed cross-stitch, floss/thread. I can do this in my sleep now. Format. 8.5 inches by 11 inches for ease of stitching. Glossy softcover bound. Contains both the colored version. Also seems to contain typos, because every time I type contains, I make a typo. For some reason, my fingers mess that word up. Both the colored version and the uncolored version of the Rainbow Lion. Holy typos. Batman. Rainbow Lion 2 cross-stitch pattern from Fruhling Designs. This pattern is perfect for anyone who loves. This is a little trickier because it's a rainbow lion. Full coverage, cross stitching, and lions with a I'll just say, sounds a little silly, but that's okay. This is silly. It's a silly business. This pattern is perfect for anyone who loves full coverage, cross stitching, and lions. Actually, lions with a whimsical twist. Boom. That sounds more fun. Okay. Choose categories, crafts, needle crafts, cross stitch. Okay, lion cross stitch pattern. Keywords, lion cross stitch pattern. I'm taking the cross stitch world by storm here. Okay. Boom. That looks good. ISBN. Color interior. 8.5 by 11. Glossy. Let's get the manuscript uploaded. Rainbow Lion 2 print edition. Ribs are definitely still hurting. I don't know what the heck I did. Don't get old. Actually, I got a few good decades left in me, I'm pretty sure. I'll never lose the Machiavellian gleam in my eye, so don't fret. Okay, cover creator. So colorful, I love it. Okay, choose this design. Change the layout a little bit. I like this version of it. Fruhling designs. Let's center that. Rainbow Lion 2. Cross stitch pattern from Fruhling Designs. Print edition. 200 by 200 stitches, complete with list of needed cross stitch floss / thread. Boom. Left align that. Upload the picture again. Hate that I have to upload the picture 3 times. It's weird. Why not just use the same image? I'll give you the option to. Okay, colors. Looks pretty good fluorescent like that, but that's okay. I've experimented with using a couple of other colors, and I find that I like the way most of the patterns look. You know, this kind of darker green color and the brown. It's boring on its own. It makes the pattern really pop, so that's good. Right, let's just check it. Rainbow Lion 2 cross stitch pattern, Fruhling Designs. Oh, forgot the spine. There won't be a spine on this book, but for completion's sake. And then on the left, Rainbow Lion 2 cross-stitch pattern from Fruhling Designs, print edition, 200 by 200 stitches, complete with list of needed cross-stitch floss thread. Perfect. Preview. After I finish this third one, probably take a little breaky break, get a snack, and Susan and I will be back and do some WoW streaming. I think we're going to continue to play our Death Knights, but I'm kind of wanting her to try WoW Classic 2, so we'll see. There's other games I've been wanting to stream more of and play as well. Okay, so processing, yeah, there we go. Okay, looks good, looks good, looks good. Couple more questions here. Extensive editing. And launch the previewer. And this is where it really builds your book. Take a few minutes. What are your essays on that you're grading, Marina? Are these the writing assignments you created the other day, or are these a different assignment? They're literary essays on things fall apart. Things are falling apart. lots of topics now. Been doing them all week. Finally almost done. Oh god. Yeah, get them done so you can actually enjoy the rest of the day. Or evening, I guess. So evening for you. It's already, what, almost 7 p.m. there? Oh, the days go by too quickly. But at least when you're done with those, you'll be done. That's good. I see I'm catching up with you on Twitch in terms of number of followers. I've got 60 followers. You're in the mid-60s, I think, so. But you're getting a lot more viewers per stream than I am. That's part of the problem. I'm kind of nickel and diming. I'm not getting enough people tuning in per stream, so maybe it's my own fault being boring doing stuff like this, but I'll get there. Just need more people rating the stream from time to time to time. And I think you're right. For better or worse, people like the high-end content, and I don't do enough of that. So when we were doing the rating, people were showing up. That's okay. You do need to stream more. I've been checking to see if you're streaming, and I noticed you haven't streamed in a little while. You got a raid, okay. Yeah, you might twist my arm into it more. Part-time. Like Indiana Jones in the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Part-time. Part-time instructor, part-time raider. Maybe time to grab some coffee, it's telling me. I do have a whole pot of coffee out there. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to get a cup of coffee. I'll be right back. I am back, cup of coffee in hand. See, this is still processing. No surprise there. It has a very pretty pattern. Take a look. Get a screenshot of that. I might use it on the YouTube, so to speak. I made a whole pot of coffee today, which I don't do too much anymore. I used to have a pot of coffee flowing all day, every day. And partly because I ran out of the good coffee. My favorite coffee brand is Pureless. And it's based out of Oakland. Really premium coffee, nice flavors. Used to be the coffee that we served back in my teenage years when I worked at the private Italian coffee shop, Cafe Dolce, that I worked at. Okay, here we go. We already checked the cover. Let's scale it to fit the trim size. I wish it did that. I wish I didn't have to scale it. I think it's scaling it down. It's probably losing just a little bit of quality. Doesn't seem to be a problem, though. People are already submitting pictures of their completed work based on these cross-stitch books, so they're definitely usable. Check our pagination. Copyright line looks good. Page numbers look good so far. Boom, boom. 63 colors in this one. Smaller number of pages, so I see someone's got a spam comment there. Seems to be happening all the time. Okay, approve. All we need to do is set the pricing. $18.95. Expanded distribution. I'm going to take over the cross-stitch world. Once I get enough of these made, I'm going to reach out to every cross-stitch or every craft store in the country and get them to stock these books, and I'm going to be taking over. That's my plan. Adequately ambitious for me. Problem is, I'm not a marketing person. I don't really feel like being a huckster anymore. I did sales for years, and when I went back to do, so I don't know if you remember, but Marianne, if you're still watching, a couple years ago, I went back and worked at Staples, and this is after having put myself through college working at Radio Shack years ago, and I thought I would enjoy it again. I really just don't. I don't really like selling. I just feel a little slimy afterwards, and I don't have the desire to push through and use all the psychological sales techniques I know how to use and used to be really good at using, and probably still would be good at using. I just found I didn't enjoy it. I don't want to do it anymore. I want to hire a marketing person who can sell stuff for me at some point. But that's right. Once this becomes a multi-billion-dollar cross-stitch business, I'll hire all my friends and we'll just have a good time together. That's my plan. Half facetiously, but half for real. It's amazing what one person can accomplish nowadays, though. This is the kind of project that would have taken multiple people significantly longer to make back in the day, and now one person can really crank stuff out. It's 21st century is magical and filled with possibility. Okay. That looks good. Publish. Alright, there's our 3 patterns that we did for the day. Rainbow Lion 2. In fact, I might get a little screenshot of this here. Oregon Coast Scene 4 and Celtic Knot Stained Glass Window 2. The Oregon patterns seem to be really popular. I think there's just a lot of cross-stitchers in Oregon. the kind of place where there'd be a lot of cross stitchers for some reason. Well, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to end the stream for now, and I think I'll be back. Susan is watching a TV show, so I might actually jump back on in a few minutes and do a little retro streaming while she does that. Marina, if you're still watching, hang tight. I may be back in a few minutes. Hope you keep tuning in, and whoever else is watching, hope you're enjoying me, crank out these silly little cross-stitch patterns for my silly little cross-stitch business that is becoming more and more successful. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, do check out our cross-stitch patterns below. I've got a link to the Etsy shop for the digital download patterns, and I have a link to the patterns on Amazon if you're interested in these and other cross-stitch books that I'm cranking out. And check back regularly, because I'm making new patterns all the time, so whatever you see there now is probably just the beginning, and there's a lot more in the pipeline than what's there now, so keep checking back. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Hope everyone has a great day as always.